This is about to get worse, but they're literally showing you exactly what they are doing. There's a reason why Bitcoin has been the best performing asset over the last 10 years. I'm going to continue to show you how the dollar's lost 96 to 97% of its value. And here's the key. I don't care what you invest in. I'm going to share with you exactly what I do on this channel. But what you have to do is you have to beat inflation. And what you're about to see, you're going to see an interest rate drop, probably 0.25%, 0.25 on the back end of this month. Everybody's expecting 0.5. I expect 0.25. Another one in December, 0.25. And then you're going to see these rates come down as low as possible in 2026. And they are going to print more money than in history. And if you don't understand how inflation works, when interest rates come down, the value of your dollar goes down. And if you can't see how they are positioning themselves in deflationary fixed supply assets, you're going to be on the wrong side of this token. So on this channel, I share with you the macro and microeconomic look, how to stay stoic and calm. And I've done this from 2020 to 2025. It's radically transformed our family's financial future. In 2025 to 2030, you have to look at fixed supply deflationary assets. So I'm going to show you first how the dollar's collapsed once again. And I'm going to show you how Bitcoin is positioned itself as the global leader, as a strategic reserve, a world currency that everybody has access to. The game is absolutely changing. And then I'm going to show you a couple videos this week where you got to study what Witkoff family is doing. You got to study the Trump family, the Trump boys, Steve Witkoff. Something interesting just happened on World Liberty Financial. Okay. Trump and Steve Witkoff are the co-founders of World Liberty Financial. Okay. I'm going to show you something, and I'm going to connect this to Jared as well, Kushner, inside the White House. And I'm starting to see the connections of what is actually happening here. Remember, as you look this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. So let's dive in. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this is what the dollar looks like, guys. This is the reality. Okay. Now, this is 1970 to 2025. Wild. This is, but think about 1913 to 2025, the dollar's collapsed 96 to 97% of its purchasing power. Now, remember what happened in 1971? We detached from the gold standard. So we already had a deflating dollar up until 1971. Then they made our money fiat, fake currency, and they just got an open checkbook. Now, the issue that we're experiencing right now is that we have more debt than we have income. So every single dollar in the system, every dollar in the system, family, is someone else's debt. It's that simple. There's no emotion in this. So if every dollar in the system is someone else's debt, there's a reason why the elites now are moving to gold, silver, Bitcoin. Write this down. Fix supply assets. They're moving to things that have supply and demand problems. Bitcoin only has 21 million in supply. 5% is left. Treasury companies all over the world, we went from a couple treasury companies to hundreds of treasury companies on the S&P. They're buying 1,700 per day. They only mine 450 a day for the next 116 years. It's already the most scarce asset in the world. I'm not saying you have to buy Bitcoin. What I'm going to show you is what's happening and why it's happening. That's the important thing about this. Okay, so let's take a look at the next thing. So this is what's happening to your dollar. And when they start to when they lower interest rates and they start printing again, guys, your dollar becomes worth less. The trick is you see $10,000 in your bank account, and you see a number and you feel safe. I see this, your dollar is going down. This is the returns. Look at this. The last 10 years, there's Bitcoin and the others. There's no comparison, guys. Look at the top companies in the world, to include Amazon. There's been a 569,000% return on Bitcoin. Now, here's the problem is you see this. I see this. You see this in your dollar in your bank account, and I see this. You have to understand inflation is the hidden taxation. They control you through interest rates. They're going to lower interest rates, and the public is going to monetize more debt, making themselves poorer, taken away from the future self. You're in a hole right now. The only way you can dig yourself out is to beat inflation and beat the hurdle rate. Okay, so this is what Bitcoin looks like over the past 10 years. Look at this, guys. These are the top world assets by market cap. This is the growth. Okay, so just digest this. That's the performance. It's beat every single asset class over the last 10 years. You can't deny that. Those are facts. That's math. This is how much growth there is. It's 1.2 trillion and gold is at 18 trillion. Gold's at an all-time high, silver's at an all-time high, Bitcoin's at an all-time high. This is your growth, guys. This is going to be one of the most valuable assets in the world. And I stand on that. I stand on the fact that XRP is going to change the modern financial system. I stand on Bitcoin is going to be the new Bitcoin strategic reserve. Countries around the world are going to use it to stabilize the broken fiat system. They're going to suck a lot of the debt into it and they're going to rebalance their balance sheets. Okay. This is what Bitcoin looks like. Okay, this is what you see. You see this, it's over. It's over. It's over. Every time they say it's over. I remember when I was buying it at $25,000, people like, you're out of your mind. And now it's at 111,000. Guys, take Bitcoin out of it. Take crypto out of it. If you're sitting in something that's worthless, that has no backing, and they lower interest rates, it means it becomes worth even less. Okay. The only way you can survive in America is to monetize more debt, which takes away from your future self. There's a reason why Trump, out of billionaires, is the #1 holder in Bitcoin now. There's a reason why, and I'm going to break this stuff down for you a little bit more detailed in the next couple videos over the next week. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button. You got to study the Witkoff family. You got to study Jared Kushner. You got to understand the things they're doing politically overseas. Okay. WFI is going to be a big part of this, in my opinion. Okay. You got Trump and Steve Witkoff, who are always together, Howard Lutnick, who are always together. They're making massive global financial changes. The old system is dead. Bitcoin will be the new gold. Things like XRP will be new bridge currencies. Companies like WLFI will be new decentralized platforms, world financial systems. Trump told you 7 years ago, you're going to be on an even playing field monetarily before you know it. The old system is dying off. Okay. So let's take a look at this really quickly. I want you to hear what tokenization. Okay. Tokenization is really important to pay attention to. Remember, we were first they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate, then they join it. That's Draper. We're in regulation and joining phase. Okay. First, you have adoption. We're in adoption. Excuse me. You have creation, adoption. Now we're in tokenization. So we're in adoption first, and you still have tokenization, which is going to be 27 to 2030 is where everything comes online in blockchain.
Thank you. All right, so my next guest says tokenization, you've heard this term, that's the future of finance. So I want to bring in now Apex Group, their Vice President, Heather Zumaraga. Heather, it's so good to see you. It's been a long time.
It's great to see you, Charles.
All right, so first of all, what is tokenization? Because people are hearing the term and it sounds intriguing and it's going to save the world, but what is it?
Well, I think it's important to simplify it because a lot of people, even the crowd today here at the conference, they hear these terms like blockchain and they're like, wait a minute, I'm not a blockchain expert, right? It's very simple. Tokenization is actually the process of putting anything, it could be real estate, a stock, a bond, on a blockchain, and you don't have to be an expert to know it's just on a technology platform that's safe and secure, and it's the wave of the future, Charles. Fund managers are starting to tokenize their funds, and I didn't hear Mike's comments, but I assume if you want access to private equity, this is going to be one way to do it. He seemed pretty bullish on the space, and it allows retail access.
Okay, so tokenization, Trump, public and private sector are coming together. The old industrial era is dying off. The centralized system is dying off because we can interact with each other now, guys. They know that. So they told us all to look this way as they got set up in this new decentralized system. Trump got set up with World Liberty Financial, their own DeFi platform. They have the fastest growing stablecoin in history, USD1. He's in the stablecoin game now. They brought Tether into America with USAT, right? Cantor, Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, his son Brandon Lutnick took over. Steve Witkoff stepped out of World Liberty Financial. His boys took over. Okay. Trump stepped out of his affairs. His boys took over. So World Liberty Financial, things like XRP, things like Bitcoin, okay? Think Ethereum. I'm not an investor in Ethereum. I'm in Solana. but Ethereum is going to do very, very well. It's part of the financial system. You're going to see Ethereum treasuries. You're going to see Bitcoin treasuries, XRP treasuries. Okay. This is something I've been saying for a long time. Armstrong said, this is the CEO of Coinbase, in 10 years, many people will use crypto, but they won't even know you're using it. I've been saying that for years on my channel. You won't even know you're using cryptocurrency. And we're going to own the actual rails. Okay, here's what the current markets look at. What I'm going to recommend you do is go down. I'm the co-founder and creator of Merlin. And why I'm so passionate about Merlin, we created this because what people do is they watch these markets go up, they watch them go down. They panic sell, they collapse. People have no plan. The way to win in these industries is to be disciplined, consistent, and have an actual plan. Okay. Waiting for price predictions and waiting for get rich, it's not going to work. I promise you. You have to have an ecosystem. You have to have a plan. You have to have protection. You have to have diversification. You have to protect your wealth. Super important. So your first stage is to have a plan, right? So Merlin is the smartest way to track your crypto. Looks like the markets are going up. That's awesome. Okay, we got Bitcoin dominance at 58%. So this is the markets page on Merlin. We have all your exchanges in one place to keep you secure. We are not connected to your crypto. So I travel around. I use Merlin. I do not use my exchanges because, you know, it's not, you can't buy and sell on here, but it's an interface, right? You see all your exchanges in one place, and then we help you understand how to do a profit taking plan. So take a look at this. If you look at XRP, boom, you click there. You'll be able to see the profit taking plan in detail. And then you can actually break it down. It shows you exactly how many tokens to exit. We send you alert when you're getting close to your targets. It tells you that based on you, what you enter, based on your tax implications, it tells you how much you'll pay in taxes or capital gains, right? It shows your entry targets, or excuse me, your exit targets. You can do a 50-50, 60-30, 70-30. And if all this is new to you, it's like, okay, boom, go here. How-to videos. We show you how to set an exit plan. Okay. And then we also have amazing customer service. So what I encourage you to do is go down to my description of my video, download it 30 days for free. I'm going to let you try it for 30 days. Try it before you buy it. I'm the co-founder and creator. It is 38,000 lines of code. We built this. Okay. Merlin is the smartest way to track your crypto. It's the smartest way to set up an exit strategy as well. Go to my bio, click the link, download it 30 days for free. Try it before you buy it. Trust me, you will absolutely love it. You need any support, reach out to my team. Okay. So now I'm starting to get a little bit deeper into understanding. I share with you guys exactly what I do. I don't hide anything. I'm very transparent on what my portfolio is and how I do it. I created what's called Capital DR, cash flow into appreciating assets that have fixed supply that beat inflation. When I profit, I put it into protection, cash value, life insurance. Nobody can touch my life insurance. Okay. Then that creates leverage, which creates my own family bank, and I can leverage at low margin, low interest hurdle rate to buy more assets. And I de-risk. DR is de-risk, 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 de-risk. Okay. So how do I create cash flow? I created cash flow by investing in companies that create cash flow. I built companies. I built multiple companies in different sectors in information technology, attention, and financial services. That's what I used my profits for in 2020 to 2022. I didn't buy Lambos, houses. I built ecosystems. I practice what I preach. When I created cash flow, I took cash flow and I became a Warren Buffett style investor and started buying cash flowing dividend ETFs. I should cautiously say that too. He's more in the low risk Coca-Cola. I'm dealing with more high risk options in regards to, I'm not trading options, but I'm getting into high risk, synthetic, high yield, high return, but I'm de-risking big time. So I take 10% of my income, my earned income, I put it into stock dividends that pay me, ETFs that pay me monthly. Okay. So now I have my businesses paying me, and I have my dividends paying me. And what do I do with my excess capital outside of debts and non-negotiables? I put it into assets like XRP and Bitcoin that are fixed supply assets that have a supply and demand mechanism to them. It's opposite of the US dollar. When these supply and demand assets, except Bitcoin, we're going to move it to leverage. When they go up, I ladder out on the way up. I hold 50%, I ladder out, boom, take some profit, boom, take some profit, boom, take some profit. Everybody's afraid of capital gains. I'm not, because I'm crushing the hurdle rate. I take money off the table, boom, I lock some up in insurance, make sure that my family is protected, make sure that my family is secure, and now I have a family bank. Okay, my family is protected, my money is growing tax-free, I can borrow against it tax-free, and I'm getting market-like returns, again, beating the hurdle rate. So I can borrow against my cash value life insurance policy with no liquidation risk at around 5%, so $100,000 is about $5,000 cost for the year. And then I can put it into things like Bitcoin that grow 50% every year, XRP that's grown 800% since 2020. Will it always do that? No, but I can put it into dividends that are paying me a large amount, pay off the loan, right? It's all about understanding hurdle rate, understanding inflation. So what you need to understand is, guys, it's going to get worse for the dollar. They are slowly and methodically transferring the dollar into stable coins. Okay. They're slowly and methodically going to suck the debt. This is what the Russian parliament was talking about, up into Bitcoin. They're going to rebalance the balance sheet. We're going to grow our way out of the economy. Okay. Billionaires are going to become trillionaires. Millionaires are going to become billionaires. And being a millionaire is going to be nothing. Money is going to be completely quantum. It's going to be a whole different world. Okay. There's the middle class. You think the wealth gap is massive now? The wealth gap is going to be unbelievable by 2030. Have you ever seen housing over the long term go down? No. It's going to be completely unaffordable to own a home. Okay. My parents bought their house in 1973 for $25,000, right after they detached from the gold standard. 2025, it's worth $400,000. It's the exact same house. That is not growth. That is devaluation of the purchasing supply, the purchasing power. You have to look at it completely different. So as people get paid in fiat and they store in fiat and they save in fiat, that shows an amount in their bank account. I store in Bitcoin. I store in XRP. You can store in gold. You can store in silver. You can store in real estate. But you have to start to make that transition in order to protect your family's wealth. At 2% inflation, your money gets cut in half every 35 years. So if you're just sitting in a savings account, you're sitting in a 401k that's returning 6 to 7%, maybe we'll give you 10 to 12%. Well, if inflation was at 10, because it's not at 3, we think it's at 3. If it's at 10%, you're just treading water. $1 million at 2 to 3% inflation, 20 years from now, you're going to need about 1.7 million. I'm doing rough numbers. You're going to need about $1.7 million to have the same purchasing power. So in your mind, you think you're growing, but you're not. That's why Trump is stacking Bitcoin. That's why Ray Dalio is starting to get some Bitcoin. That's why RFK is in Bitcoin. They see what's happening, guys. So we're going to go a little bit deeper on this channel. We're going to study Witkoff, the Steve Witkoff. We're going to look at Jared Kushner, the deals that they're making overseas and the peace deals. And we're going to look at the macroeconomic effect on that. And so you can see clear and not make your investments off get rich quick or price predictions, but off of long-term fundamental, where are we heading, no panic selling, and looking at the long term. So I hope this helps. If you'd like to work with me in my academy, I want to make this very clear because there's so many scammers out there. It drives me crazy. We do not invest people's crypto. Never send anybody money pretending to be me, ever. Okay. We don't send anybody your crypto. We don't have an investment platform. We don't help people invest their money. Okay. We are an education platform, the 3T Warrior Academy. We teach Capital DR, that exact strategy. Okay. We're educators. So down below in the description of this video onto YouTube, you can sign up to meet with my team, or you can join the academy. In the description of my video, you can join the academy as well. Come in, get involved. Over 13,000 people worldwide. We have over 3,000 active people on a daily basis. We have 7 live calls a week. We have market calls. My team is constantly keeping people calm. We are stoic, we are calm, and we are here to build generational wealth. So I hope this information reaches your heart well. I love you guys very, very much. And as we always say, Warriors, let's get your shit together. God bless you.